My dear brother and sisters, you are not listening to this on accident. This is not random. This is not a coincidence. Your heart has been searching for answers quietly. You've been carrying something heavy, silently. No one knows what you're truly going through because no one sees the tears that never fall. You've been strong for too long. You've been patient for too long. You've been holding yourself together, alone. But tonight, Allah brought you here not to scare you, not to shame you, not to break you, but to comfort you, to explain what your heart could not understand, to show you why things happened the way they did. So breathe, relax your shoulders, let your heart soften. You are safe here. And now, let me tell you the truth, your soul has been waiting to hear. Not everyone around you is meant to stay. My dear brothers and sisters, listen with your heart, not just your ears. There are people who enter your life with beautiful words, gentle smiles and warm greetings, yet inside their hearts may live jealousy, comparison and silent resentment. Not everyone who says I care truly cares. Not everyone who stands beside you wants to see you rise. Not everyone who calls you friend is loyal in your absence. Some come only to take your light because theirs has died. Some come close because your heart feels safe and theirs feels empty. Some come to taste your peace because their own soul is chaotic. And Allah is fully aware of every hidden intention. You see, we as humans look at faces, appearances, outward character. But Allah looks directly at the heart, the place we cannot see. There were times you sat with someone and a strange heaviness fell on your heart, a tightness in your chest, a discomfort you couldn't explain. You didn't see anything wrong. They didn't say anything openly harmful. Everything appeared normal. Yet your soul whispered, protect yourself. Be careful, do not attach your heart here. And you ignored it because you thought, I'm overthinking. I shouldn't judge. Maybe it's nothing. But it was not nothing. It was Allah placing a subtle warning inside your heart. Allah protects His servants in ways we do not always understand immediately. He sends signs softly, quietly, gently through the heart. Your soul recognizes energy long before your mind finds reasons. Have you ever noticed how your body reacts before your thoughts? Your hands become cold. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your mood shifts. Your heart becomes unsettled, yet the room is peaceful. The conversation is normal. The smile is present, but you're a soul. Your soul sees something your eyes do not see. My dear believer, this is not paranoia. This is not too emotional. This is not your imagination. This is divine protection. Allah places discomfort around the people who are not meant for your journey. And sometimes you try to hold onto them because you care, because you hope, because you believe in the good inside them. You say to yourself, no, they wouldn't do that. No, maybe I'm wrong. No, let me give them another chance. You give chances until your heart begins to bleed. You give loyalty until your peace starts collapsing. You give love until your spirit becomes tired. And even then, Allah continues to show you signs. A slip of the tongue, a strange look, a hidden tone, a sudden distance, a jealousy disguised as a joke, a small lie that doesn't match their story. And again your heart whispers, pay attention, but you keep holding on because your heart is soft. And soft hearts find it painful to let go. Yet sometimes the people you are holding on to are the ones weighing your heart down. Sometimes the love you are giving is being poured into hands that were never meant to hold it. And Allah sees the harm that your heart does not want to acknowledge. Allah hears the conversations spoken behind your back, the ones you will never hear. Allah sees the envy in their heart, the envy you will never catch in their eyes. Allah knows the intentions hidden behind their kindness intentions you cannot detect. So Allah steps in, not to hurt you, not to break your heart, not to make you lonely, but to save you from something your love was blinding you from. Allah removes them slowly. First, communication becomes less, then the enthusiasm fades, the warmth disappears, You begin to feel distance even while sitting close. Your heart feels like something is ending and you don't understand why. You blame yourself. You try harder. You give more. You try to fix something that Allah Himself is removing until one day the truth is revealed. Sometimes through betrayal, sometimes through absence, sometimes through silence, sometimes through a moment so small but so clear that you cannot unsee it anymore. And suddenly you realize they were not who you hoped they were. Their heart was never walking beside yours. Their loyalty was with their benefit, not with you. And yes, the realization hurts. It feels like something inside your chest is breaking quietly. You feel foolish for trusting. You feel naive for loving purely. You feel disappointed in your own sincerity. But listen, do not be angry at yourself. The purity of your heart is not a mistake. Your sincerity is not a weakness. Your loyalty is not something to be ashamed of. Your goodness was real, their connection was not. You loved with truth, they were present with benefit. You cared deeply, they cared when it suited them. The loss you feel is not because you lost a person. It is because your soul is healing from what was draining it. And Allah removed them not as punishment but as mercy. My dear heart, if you knew what Allah was saving you from, you would fall into sujood in tears out of gratitude, not sadness. Sometimes Allah removes people quietly because the destruction they could have caused later would have been unbearable. Sometimes He separates you from someone before you discover a truth that could have shattered you in ways you may not recover from. You see, Allah knows your limits. He knows how much your heart can carry. He knows the pain that would break you and the pain that will grow you. So when a person leaves your life, or when Allah makes you feel distant from them, or when communication becomes difficult, or when something inside you says, let them go, do not resist. Because the heart that Allah is protecting is far more valuable than the relationship He is removing. And I know letting go is not easy. You replay memories. You question everything. You blame yourself. You wonder if you could have done more. But listen to me deeply. You did enough. You tried enough. You gave enough. You loved enough. The problem was never your sincerity. The problem was that you were giving your sincerity to someone whose heart was not connected to Allah. When a heart is not connected to Allah, it does not know how to love correctly. It does not know how to stay. It does not know how to appreciate. It does not know how to be loyal. A heart disconnected from Allah will always be unstable, unsure and restless. And you were trying to find home in a heart that was not even home to itself. So Allah removed you to protect you from heartbreak far worse. Sometimes Allah says, not this person, not this path, not this attachment, because He knows that your destination is somewhere else. Your peace is somewhere else. Your real love is somewhere else. Your real companionship is somewhere else. And you may cry now, but one day you will understand. One day you will look back and say, if I had stayed with them, I would have lost myself. One day you will look back and say, this heartbreak was the doorway to my healing. One day you will look back and say, Subhanallah, Allah planned this perfectly. Because the truth is, Allah does not remove people to leave you empty. He removes them to make space. Space for peace, space for healing, space for clarity, space for someone whose soul matches your soul, someone whose heart carries mercy, someone who loves you without competition or envy, someone who is a blessing, not a burden. And until that person comes, Allah will keep your circle small, very small. Sometimes He will place you in isolation, not as punishment, but as protection. He separates you from noise so He can speak to your heart. He separates you from distractions so you can return to Him. He separates you from attachment so you can remember who truly holds your heart, Allah. You know why it hurts so much to lose someone? Because you attached your heart to a creation, and hearts were only created to attach to the Creator. So when a connection breaks. It is Allah inviting you back to Him. Say it softly right now. Let your soul hear it. Oh Allah, if they were not good for my heart, thank you for removing them. Replace them with goodness. Replace them with peace. Replace them with someone who brings me closer to you. Let your tears fall if they need to. Tears are not a sign of weakness. Tears are the heart cleansing itself. Tears are how the soul breathes again. Do not rush your healing. Do not rush your understanding. Do not rush the divine plan. Just trust. Trust that Allah never takes without giving. Trust that Allah never closes a door without opening a better one. Trust that Allah never removes a person unless their presence was blocking your path to peace. You are not being abandoned. You are being prepared. You are not being destroyed. You are being reshaped. You are not being left behind. You are being lifted. So breathe. Let go. Let Allah handle what you cannot see. He is protecting you in ways you don't even realize right now. One day, your heart will understand everything Allah removed and everything Allah replaced. And on that day, your heart will whisper, Alhamdulillah, the protection was hidden inside the pain. Your soul feels energy before your mind understands it. My dear brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when you meet someone or sit with someone or speak to someone and everything appears normal. Their words are polite. Their tone is gentle. Their face is smiling. But your heart feels something you cannot explain. You feel a heaviness in your chest, a discomfort in your breathing, a quiet warning in your soul. You don't know why. You don't have evidence. You cannot point to anything specific, but something inside whispers, be careful. This whisper, my dear listener, is not just a feeling. It is not paranoia. It is not overthinking. It is Allah guiding your soul, because your soul has been alive far longer than your body. Your soul has seen things your mind has forgotten. Your soul recognizes sincerity and falsehood, loyalty and deception, light and darkness, long before your eyes and ears do. Your heart carries a wisdom that your mind does not always understand immediately. This is why sometimes your mind says, they seem nice, they didn't do anything wrong, I should trust them. But your heart says, something is off. Do not open your heart here. Protect your peace. And most people ignore the heart because we are taught to judge by what we see, by outward behavior, by polite words, by appearance. But Allah did not say He looks at the face. Allah did not say He looks at the image. Allah said He looks at the heart. So when your heart senses something, it is sensing what Allah is showing it. Think back to your life. There were people you trusted. You welcomed them into your heart. You shared your happiness with them. You shared your secrets with them. You allowed them to stand close to your soul. And later, you discovered the pain, the betrayal, the jealousy, the hidden intentions. But before that truth surfaced, your heart already knew. You felt the discomfort before the reality appeared. Your soul recognized the warning long before your mind understood the meaning. That was Allah saving you. Allah did not wait for you to be destroyed. He did not wait for the pain to become unbearable. He did not wait for the betrayal to break you completely. He placed a warning inside your heart in the beginning, a small whisper, a light discomfort, a gentle caution. But sometimes we silence the heart. We tell ourselves, no, I should give benefit of the doubt. No, maybe it's just me. No, I don't want to be judgmental. But let me tell you something important. Your heart is not judging, it is protecting. The believer's heart is a gift from Allah. It carries intuition, awareness, and divine sensitivity. A person who is close to Allah feels things others cannot see. Your soul reacts to energy before your mind reacts to behavior. You feel intentions before you see actions. You feel sincerity before you hear words. You feel dishonesty before you witness betrayal. This is why sometimes You feel tired around certain people for no reason. Your mood drops when they speak. Your spirit feels dim in their presence. And around others, your heart feels peaceful. Your breathing feels calm. Your soul feels safe. This is not random. This is spiritual. This is real. There are hearts that Allah has filled with nur light. Standing near them feels like your soul is resting in shade. And there are hearts filled with darkness, ego, jealousy, arrogance, resentment. Standing near them feels like your soul is suffocating. Your heart knows the difference, and your heart is telling you, go where your soul is nourished. Leave where your soul is wounded. You do not need a reason to protect your peace. You do not need evidence to protect your heart. You do not need proof to step away from energy that drains your soul. Allah guided you quietly. Do not force yourself to unsee what your soul has already seen. Do not silence the warning that God Himself placed inside you. Your heart is a shield. Your intuition is a signal. Your discomfort is divine protection. The mind may be fooled, but the soul never is. My dear beloved soul, sometimes Allah protects you not by closing a door, but by closing your heart towards someone. You may not understand it at first. One day, you were comfortable with them. You laughed with them. You shared your thoughts freely. Your soul felt open and unguarded. And then slowly, the connection felt different. The excitement faded. Your heart became quiet toward them. Your spirit no longer felt held, understood, or safe. You didn't argue. Nothing dramatic happened. No betrayal yet. No fight. No explanation. Just a shift. That shift, my dear brothers and sisters, was not mood. It was not random. It was not coincidence. It was Allah removing the emotional attachment before the real damage could reach your soul. Sometimes Allah separates you from someone emotionally before He separates you from them physically. Because if the heart remained attached, the departure would destroy you. Look at how gentle your Lord is. He prepares your heart for the loss before the loss even comes. He places distance inside your chest so that when life changes, you can handle it. He makes your soul slowly step back. So the separation is not a collapse, but a transition. Subhanallah, what a merciful Rabb we have. And sometimes you may find yourself missing someone who hurt you. You think about the good memories. You think about the warmth. You think about how close you once were. And your nafs whispers, maybe they weren't so bad. Maybe you can go back. Maybe it can work again. But your heart feels heavy at that thought. That heaviness is Allah protecting you again. Because pain is not the only evidence of harm. Sometimes the absence of peace is the evidence. If your soul feels drained in someone's presence, but calm in their absence, that is all the answer you need. If being around them feels like work, but leaving them feels like relief, your heart has already spoken. If you have to shrink yourself to be loved by them, then it was never love. If you have to silence your pain to keep them, then it was never safety. Your soul remembers what your mind keeps trying to forget. Your soul saw something your eyes refused to acknowledge. Your soul felt the weight of their energy even while your mind was defending them. This is why Allah teaches us, do not attach your heart to creation. Attach it to the Creator, because creation is unstable. Hearts change, people change. Love can turn into jealousy. Loyalty can turn into distance. Warmth can turn into coldness. But Allah never changes. And the heart that is connected to Allah cannot be fooled by temporary sweetness. So listen when your heart whispers. Listen when your peace shifts. Listen when your soul grows uncomfortable. Your heart is not weak. Your heart is not confused. Your heart is not mistaken. Your heart is being guided. Your heart is being protected. Your heart is being steered away from harm because Allah loves you. Yes, you. Allah loves you enough to warn you silently before you are wounded loudly. He loves you enough to protect you from people your heart wanted, but your soul did not need. So if someone's presence costs you your peace, your clarity, your emotional safety, your relationship with Allah, then understand your soul already knows that person is not written for you. You don't need to wait for proof. You don't need to wait for betrayal. You don't need to wait for the pain. Your soul has already seen enough. When Allah exposes someone, it happens perfectly. My dear brothers and sisters, there comes a moment in life where Allah decides to show you the truth. Not because He wants to hurt you, not because He wants to break your heart, but because He wants to protect you from what you could not see. Allah is Al-Basir, the one who sees everything. He knows the conversations spoken behind closed doors. He knows the thoughts hidden behind the polite smile. He knows the jealousy that was disguised as a joke, the envy that was disguised as advice, the harm that was disguised as love. Your eyes saw kindness. Your heart offered sincerity. Your soul trusted the connection. But Allah saw something you did not see. And Allah, in His infinite mercy, does not allow the darkness around you to remain hidden forever. So slowly, gently, perfectly, He begins to reveal the truth. Not all at once, not in a way that destroys you, not in a way that shocks your heart, but step by step, so your soul is prepared. First, you start to notice small changes. The way they speak to you shifts. Their tone carries something unfamiliar. Their interest becomes inconsistent. Their presence no longer brings peace. Then their words begin to show cracks. A sentence that feels slightly off. A comment that stings. A message that reveals more than it should. A silence that says everything without a single word spoken. And your heart whispers, something is not right. You may try to ignore it. You may try to convince yourself that you are imagining things. You may try to hold on to the person even tighter. But Allah continues to show you signs because Allah loves you too much to let you be fooled forever. Suddenly, you see sides of them you never saw before. Their intentions show themselves in the way they react to your happiness. Do they celebrate your blessings? Or do they shrink when you shine? You begin to notice their jealousy when Allah lifts you. You begin to notice their silence when you succeed. You begin to notice that your joy does not make them smile. It makes them uncomfortable. This is Allah removing the veil. This is Allah exposing what was hidden. This is Allah saying, my believer, my servant, my beloved, I am protecting you. And when Allah exposes someone, He exposes them in a way that leaves no room for doubt. No arguments, no confusion, no back and forth. Just clarity. A clarity that settles deep into your heart. A clarity that says, this is who they truly are. And yes, my dear listener, seeing the truth can break you. It can feel like someone pulled the floor out from beneath you. You may sit in silence, wondering how you didn't see it earlier. You may feel betrayed by your own love, by your own hope, by your own trust. But listen, the exposure was not your loss. It was your rescue. Allah did not show you the truth to hurt you. He showed it to free you. He freed you from false love. He freed you from a connection built on illusion. He freed you from a heart that was never praying for you. He freed you from a hand that was holding you only for benefit, not for love. And here is something beautiful. When the wrong people leave your life, your soul exhales. Suddenly, the air feels lighter. Suddenly, your chest feels open. Suddenly, your heart feels like it can breathe again. That relief you feel is Allah telling you, you were carrying something that was never meant to be a part of you. Because Allah does not remove people who are good for your heart. He only removes those who are harming it, even when you cannot see the harm yet. And when Allah exposes someone, it is always at the perfect time. Not too early when you would deny it. Not too late when the damage would be too deep. but at the exact moment your heart is strong enough to let go. Subhanallah, look at the wisdom of your Lord. My dear brothers and sisters, when Allah unveils the truth, it may hurt at first, but that hurt is not the pain of destruction. It is the pain of release, the pain of removing a thorn from your skin. It stings when it comes out, but it would have poisoned you if it stayed inside. In the same way, Allah removes people whose presence is quietly damaging your soul. You may not see the harm, you may not understand the danger. You may think, but they never did anything major. We were fine. But Allah knows what the future holds. Allah knows the heartbreak they were capable of. Allah knows the betrayal they could have brought. Allah knows the words they would one day use to wound you. Allah knows the way they could break you when you are most vulnerable. So Allah steps in early, not because you asked, but because He loves you. Sometimes the greatest proof of Allah's love is who He doesn't allow to stay in your life. And when Allah exposes someone, He exposes them in such a way that even your heart accepts the truth. There is no confusion. There is no what if. There is no maybe. Just clarity. Clarity that settles like a quiet understanding in your chest. And sometimes the exposure comes in silence. No big scene, no dramatic event, no loud argument, just distance, just disconnect, just a fading bond, just a season ending quietly. And you wonder, why did they stop caring? Why did they change? Why did they walk away? Why did the connection die? Because Allah is ending the chapter. Not every closure is loud. Sometimes Allah ends things with peace rather than pain. And sometimes the exposure comes through a sudden moment, a message you were not supposed to see, a conversation that reaches your ears, a truth that slips by accident, a tone that reveals jealousy, a reaction that shows resentment, a small detail that changes everything. And in that moment your heart says, Subhanallah, this is the truth. Not the truth you wanted, but the truth you needed to see. And that truth may break your expectation, but it will save your soul. Because what you thought was loyalty was convenience. What you thought was love was attachment. What you thought was support was silent competition. What you thought was sincerity was hidden envy. Allah showed you the truth so that your heart would never bow to the wrong person again. You were not meant to give your heart to someone who was ready to betray your trust without hesitation. You were not meant to share your dreams with someone who celebrated your failures more than your victories. You were not meant to walk with someone whose heart was never walking beside yours. Allah saw what you could not. Allah heard what you did not. Allah knew what was hidden in silence. And He loved you enough to say, my servant, I am removing them for your protection. If Allah had not exposed their reality, you would have invested more, you would have trusted deeper, you would have anchored your happiness to someone who was never meant to hold it. The exposure protected your future. Let that sink in. Allah did not just save your present. He saved the you that you will become. He saved your future home, your future heart, your future peace, your future love, your future dignity. That is why the exposure came when it did. Not a moment earlier, not a moment later, but exactly when your heart was strong enough to let go. When Allah removes someone, do not chase them. My dear brothers and sisters, when someone leaves your life, your heart may want to run after them. You may feel like something is being torn away. You may feel a loss that is difficult to explain. You may cry and ask yourself, why? Why did they leave? What did I do wrong? Why couldn't it stay the way it was? But listen carefully. Not every departure is a tragedy. Not every loss is a wound. Not every goodbye is punishment. Sometimes a person leaving your life is Allah saving you. Yes, saving you from a heartbreak you did not see coming. Saving you from a betrayal you were not prepared to face. Saving you from a future where your soul would suffer silently. Allah knows what you do not know, and Allah sees what you do not see. You saw their words. Allah saw their heart. You saw their kindness. Allah saw their intention. You saw their presence. Allah saw their path. If Allah removes someone from your life, it is never without wisdom. We cry because we are attached. We cry because we hoped. We cry because we invested feelings, time, effort, trust. But Allah does not remove people to break your heart. He removes them to protect your heart. The truth is, if they were written for you, they would still be here. If their presence was good for your soul, Allah would have strengthened the bond, not weakened it. If their character was pure, Allah would have made your heart grow around them, not collapse in their presence. If love was sincere, it would not fade. If loyalty was real, it would not disappear. If connection was from Allah, it would not end. Allah does not let go of something good for you. So when Allah takes someone away, you must trust. There is something you do not understand yet, because we only see the moment, but Allah sees the journey. We see the emotion, but Allah sees the ending. Maybe that person was holding you back. Maybe they were draining your spirit slowly. Maybe they were standing in the doorway of a blessing Allah wants to send you. Maybe their presence was delaying your growth, your healing, your rise. You don't break a flower to hurt it. You prune it so it grows better. Allah does the same with the believers. And yes, letting go is painful. Your heart will remember the memories. Your mind will replay old conversations. Your chest will feel heavy when their name crosses your thoughts. But pain is not always a sign to hold on. Sometimes pain is the sign to release. If Allah has removed someone from your life, do not chase them. Do not run after what Allah has taken away. Do not cry for the door that Allah Himself has closed. Your heart may not understand it today, but one day you will look back and say, Alhamdulillah. The removal was the blessing, because Allah is never taking something from you. He is taking something away from you to make space for something better. Better for your peace, better for your faith, better for your future, better for your soul. If a person was meant to stay in your life, they would not need to be chased. They would not need to be convinced. They would not need to be held tightly. The hearts that are written for you, Allah ties them to yours. They stay with ease. They stay with comfort. They stay with sincerity. They stay without force. What is from Allah stays softly. What is not from Allah leaves. No matter how much you try to hold it, let it leave. Do not chase illusions. Do not chase attachments. Do not chase the past. Let Allah write your story. He knows what your heart needs better than you do. My dear brothers and sisters, sometimes the hardest battles are not fought with the world outside, but with the heart inside. Your heart may say, but I loved them, but I prayed for them, but I wanted a future with them. And Allah says, Innahu lakum innam bina sa'ana. I know. He knows every tear that fell silently. He knows every, I hope you whispered in the dark. He knows how your hands trembled when you tried to let go. He knows how your chest tightened when you tried to move on. And He also knows the truth, that your love was too innocent to see. You see, we as humans love what is familiar. We love what we invested in. We love what once made us feel alive. But sometimes we fall in love with potential, not reality. We fall in love with what we believed they could become, not who they truly were. We fall in love with the moments they were kind, forgetting the moments our soul felt empty. We fall in love with the smile, ignoring the heaviness that came after it. Your heart remembers the warmth, but forgets the wounds. Your heart remembers the laughter, but forgets the numbness that followed. Your heart remembers the closeness, but forgets how distant they felt when you needed them most. You remember how they made you feel special once, but you forget how often you had to beg for the same warmth again. And Allah knows that your heart loves differently. Your heart loves deeply. Your heart loves sincerely. Your heart attaches fully. And that is why Allah intervened. He did. not take them away to punish you. He took them away because they were consuming you. You were losing yourself trying to hold on to them. You were lowering your worth to keep them comfortable. You were silencing your pain to avoid losing them. You started forgetting yourself just to remember them. And Allah said, enough. Sometimes the separation is not a rejection from them. It is a rescue from Allah. They were not yours to fix. They were not yours to heal. They were not yours to save. And your heart is not weak for wanting them. Your heart is just pure. But pure hearts break the hardest. And yet, pure hearts are the ones Allah protects the most. That is why letting go feels like grief. Because it is grief. You are not only letting go of a person, you are letting go of dreams, expectations, hopes, and future versions of yourself that you imagined with them. Let the tears fall. Let your heart feel. Let the pain move through you like waves. This pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to clean you. Pain is a purifier. It washes away the attachment that was suffocating your soul. It cleanses the places where your love was misplaced. It prepares your heart to love someone better, someone written, someone pure, someone safe. Because what is from Allah will never require you to die inside to keep it. What is from Allah will never demand your dignity. What is from Allah will never suffocate your spirit. What is from Allah will never feel like begging. What is from Allah comes with ease. Not ease meaning no challenges, but ease meaning your heart feels safe. You feel seen. You feel valued. You feel respected. You feel understood. You feel peace. Peace is the sign of Allah. Pain is the sign of attachment. So when someone leaves, let them go. Not because they never mattered, but because Allah matters more. Not because your love was small, but because your heart is precious. Not because the connection was fake, but because Allah is rewriting your story. And Allah never writes endings without writing better beginnings. One day, when your heart has healed, when your eyes have dried, when your soul has rested, you will look back and say, Alhamdulillah, if they had stayed, I would have never found myself. If they had stayed, I would have never found peace. If they had stayed, I would have never found Allah the way I know Him now. Trust the removal. Trust the separation. Trust the closure. Because behind every goodbye written by Allah, there is a blessing waiting to arrive. Every betrayal was a form of protection. My dear brothers and sisters, there are wounds that no one else sees. A betrayal does not always come with loud noise or dramatic endings. Sometimes it arrives quietly through slow change, subtle distance, hidden resentment, or a sudden coldness in conversation. And the heart feels it before the mind, understands it. You start questioning, did I do something wrong? Was I not enough? Why did they change? Why did they treat me like I did not matter? But hear this with your soul, very softly, very gently. It was never your fault. The betrayal did not happen because you lacked something. It did not happen because your love was insufficient. It did not happen because your effort was small. It happened because Allah was protecting you. You see, we only see what is in front of us. We see smiles, we see words, we see memories, we see moments. But Allah sees what the heart hides. Allah sees the jealousy behind the laughter. Allah sees the envy behind the compliments. Allah sees the resentment behind the empathy. Allah sees the dishonesty hidden inside affection. Allah saw the moments when they smiled in your presence but spoke against you in silence. Allah saw the moments when you defended them but they betrayed the trust behind your back. Allah saw the purity in your love and the selfishness in theirs. And Allah said, my servant does not deserve this. You loved with sincerity. They loved with conditions. You invested your soul. They only invested time. You held them in your prayers. They held you only in convenience. So Allah let the betrayal unfold to free you. Because if Allah had allowed the bond to continue, you would have built a future on something fragile. something false, something that would collapse when you needed it most. Allah saved you from a deeper heartbreak later by allowing a smaller heartbreak now. This is mercy disguised as pain. This is protection disguised as disappointment. This is saving disguised as separation. Yes, the betrayal hurt. You cried silently. You held your heart alone. Your chest felt hollow. Your trust felt shattered. But the hurt you feel now is far less than the devastation that would have come later if Allah did not intervene. Sometimes Allah does not shield you from the wound. He minimizes the size of it so that you break but not beyond repair, so that you fall but not beyond recovery, so that you hurt but not beyond healing. Allah did not let this betrayal destroy you. He allowed it to wake you, to open your eyes, to strengthen your soul, to sharpen your discernment, to pull you closer to Him. Every betrayal you faced changed you. Not into someone bitter, but into someone wiser. Not into someone cold, but into someone protected. Not into someone hardened, but into someone whose heart is now guided by Allah. You learned how to read silence. You learned how to feel sincerity. You learned how to recognize real love. You learned how to trust your intuition. You learned that not everyone who stands beside you is for you. You learned that not every smile is honest. You learned that not every apology is repentance. You learned that not everyone is meant to stay. This pain has taught you what peace looks like. This betrayal has taught you what loyalty truly means. This loss has taught you what love from Allah feels like. Because when everyone else left, Allah stayed. When your heart cracked, Allah held it. When your eyes wept, Allah saw every tear. When your voice broke,